Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. In today's video, I'll be talking about Adam Rank and how he is the biggest clown in sports, talking trash about the Washington Commanders, their quarterback, saying he's milking an injury, a bunch of stuff that you're not gonna want to miss if you don't like Adam Rank, and definitely if you don't know who Adam Rank is. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. We're really close to 14,000 subscribers, so go ahead and help me. It is free. So the Washington Commanders had an absolute great win yesterday. And Adam Rank, if you guys do not know, he is one of the biggest Washington Commanders haters out there every year. I mean, and sometimes he's right, but a lot of times he's not. He predicts them to win 2, 3, 4 games. And, you know, it's not like they're winning 9, 10 games, but they usually win 7 or 8. This year, I believe he predicted us to win 6 games. We're already there. And, he obviously predicted us to lose against his Chicago Bears. He's a Chicago Bears fan. And after the game, and this video is going to, be eye-opening to some of you guys. Some of you guys are going to get upset about it, not at me, but at him. But also, I think some of you guys are going to find it entertaining how much of a clown this guy is. So stay tuned for the whole video. But after the game, he posted a video, and I'll play it for a second, just basically talking about how he doesn't really, obviously he's a little bit upset that the Bears lost, but it doesn't really matter because the Bears dominated. Caleb Williams was way better than Jaden Daniels. And I don't know if we watched the same game, but objectively, Jaden Daniels played better, and the eye test shows that too. I'll show you guys this clip right here. I'm not going to talk during it because it messes up the audio. And then also I'll show you guys a bunch of stats. And there's other clips that I will show you that he's basically talking trash about Jaden, saying he's milking the milking the injury, which I don't even know where he's trying to get at there. But let's play this video real quick.
If you're asking me if we'd rather have, wanted to win that game, I would say yes. I'm not even tripping because Caleb was the guy who went down there, dominated, was the better quarterback. The team was better. The Bears dominated. Did Washington win on a fluky play? Sure. It's all good. Not even worried about it. I'm very excited about where this team is headed. I'm more impressed by the way that Caleb Williams answered the challenge at the end, went out there, got what should have been the winning touchdown, didn't work out, but you know what? I'm still in. Bear down.
So yeah, have no idea what he's talking about, what game he even watched. If we remember this, Caleb Williams was 4 for 16 at one point, had 34 yards passing, and I will give it to Caleb. He did have a solid fourth quarter, but they still, barely put up any points. The touchdown that that they had that started everything was a 56-yard run by the running back. And then, they did have a nice drive, 2 nice drives, and Caleb Williams did have a good fourth quarter. But guess what? The first 3 quarters were not good at all. And look at the stat, difference. And Jaden didn't even have his best game. And, his receivers, I think Jaden played really well, but he definitely had, has had better games, I think. Like the Bengals game. But you look at it, he had almost 400 total yards. The completion percentage was a little bit low, 55.2%, but he did have some drops. Noah Brown dropped one. Terry had one that he should have came down with. I think there was maybe one other. I'm trying to remember who had it. And then he had 1 touchdown pass, and he also had 2 touchdowns that were taken off the board. 1 to Zacchaeus, 1 to Zach Ertz. That was, questionable if it was a pass or if it was a passing touchdown or not. And then 0 interceptions and a passer rating of 92.7, and had a 71 quarterback rating, which was the highest that the Bears allowed all season. And Caleb Williams had half the yards, not even half the yards. Completion percentage 41.6, yards 172, pass rating 59.5. It's not even remotely close, and he was missing throws. I think in a couple response tweets, he was like, "Oh, look, you're just looking at the box score. Watch the game." Well, if you watch the game, Jaden actually had receivers that weren't helping him at times and dropping passes versus Caleb, who kind of, some of his throws were overthrown, didn't even give his receiver a chance to catch the ball. And yeah, it is what it is. Again, he did have some good throws. I'm not trying to hate on Caleb. I'm just trying to hate on this point Adam Rank's trying to make, that Caleb was a lot better than Jaden Daniels. And real quick, I'll show you guys a clip that he's basically trying to say that Jaden was milking an injury. But before that, a word from today's sponsor. A huge shout out to BetUS. Make sure you guys check them out and use my code YouTube150 for 150% sign up deposit match on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Is a really good deal. And you got a Monday night game tonight. NFC East rival is playing with the New York Giants versus Pittsburgh Steelers. You got the World Series going on, so a bunch of sports. You got hockey going on, you got NBA. So right now there's so many different things that you can bet on. You got college football as well in a couple of days, so a lot of different things you can bet on. Make sure you guys check them out at betus.com, and they have lines already for the Washington Commanders versus New York Giants game, and we'll be discussing that further this week, talking about some props that I like in that game. But make sure you guys go ahead and check out BetUS at betus.com. So let's get back into this. So Adam Rank, let's show this video. This is the video that, whatever, the other one, maybe he was, had a few too many drinks, or I don't know, because it seems like he was somewhere. I don't know where, but he was somewhere. But here's the clip that was like, all right, this is the next day. He's had time to digest or whatever. And part of me thinks he's just rage baiting and trying to get us to talk about him, but whatever. I mean, you're making yourself look like a clown on TV. That like, just to get people to subscribe to your channel or to your follow your Twitter, whatever you want to do, that's fine. I just have a little bit more respect than that, but just to be known as the clown that no one likes their football opinion or thinks their football opinion is good, it is what it is. But that's kind of what he's known for, at least with Commanders fans, and I know other people too from other fan bases that just think he's an absolute clown as well. There's compilations on YouTube of all his mistakes of predicting records. So I'll show you guys this clip real quick.
Daniels was sitting on the sideline for most of that game under a little banky. Oh, he's got his little heated banky and nursing himself back to health, whatever. And I know, and again, I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like sour grapes, but how do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're 6-7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries, I don't know how do you think this looks in game 30 compared to game 6? I don't know. We'll see at the end of week 17. We'll see where he's at.
All right, there it is. I mean, again, I just have no idea what he's trying to say here, that Jaden Daniels is milking the injury that he has whatever wrapped around his rib during the sideline or on the sideline. Well, I wonder why. He's hurt and that helps him out. And I just don't know what he's trying to say here. The guy had an injury, and guess what? Even if he didn't, even if he didn't have the injury and he was just faking it or whatever he's trying to say here, we still beat you guys. And honestly, the Commanders should have won by a lot more than they did. They had way more yards than the Chicago Bears. I mean, Jaden Daniels himself had more yards than the entire Chicago Bears team. So I don't know what he's saying here. The guy had an injury. Obviously, he missed last week because of it. Missed basically the entire Panthers game. He was out because of the injury, didn't practice for the first couple of days, and he's not using it as an excuse. He's barely bringing it up. The only time Jaden Daniels is bringing it up is when he's asked about it, and that's obviously fair. He's going to talk about it when he's being asked, and he didn't complain. He came out to play and still beat you guys. So I don't know what you're talking about. And hey, if you want to have a discussion, I'm sure he won't see this, but hey, I would be glad to debate you on whatever channel you have or whatever platform you want to do it on, because I mean, there's just really, it's objectively clear Jaden Daniels had a better game than Caleb Williams. The Commanders played better than the Chicago Bears. It shouldn't have been close at all. I mean, the refs took a few touchdowns off the board. The Commanders just made a bunch of mistakes on offense that they shouldn't have made, and it could have been a blowout. So I really do hope, I don't think they will, because I don't think the Bears are probably going to make the playoffs because of the division and their tough stretch. I really do hope though that we see him again in the playoffs and demolish him, absolutely demolish him. Here's the whatever his prediction had him at 6-2 at the end of the season. So he is an absolute clown, and I'm very happy that the Commanders beat them. And I hope, I really don't hate a lot of fan bases, especially ones that aren't in the NFC East, but the Bears in general, it's just crazy to me. I mean, Jaden Daniels lives rent free in their heads. All they talk about is Jaden Daniels. There's so many clips about them saying, F him, whatever, he sucks. And guess what? You had the chance to take him. You're just salty. You took Caleb. And again, nothing against Caleb. He'll probably be a solid quarterback, a good quarterback in this league. Jaden's just better. At least right now he is. And our team's better, 6-2. And the Commanders were the second worst team in the league last year, and they're 6-2. And the Bears were not the worst team in the league last year. They had the number one pick because of the Panthers trade. And there's a bunch of other things too that we can talk about, like the media kind of moving the goalposts in the offseason. They were like, you know what? Caleb Williams has the best, supporting cast in the NFL. He has Rome Odunze that they drafted. He has Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. He has DeAndre Swift. He has all these pieces. And guess what? After the first few weeks, it turns into, Jaden Daniels has such a good offensive line, has such a good receiving core. Cliff Kingsbury is so good. Guess what? They were saying that offensive line was the worst offensive line in football in the offseason. Guess what else they were saying? They were saying Cliff Kingsbury was terrible and he's not a good offensive coordinator. They were saying we didn't have any weapons. So it's funny to see the goalposts move, and them saying that actually Caleb has no help and Jaden's the one that has all that help, when it was the opposite this offseason. So I think this will continue to be a rivalry because Bears fans are just absolutely crazy, and I think that they got a lot of Commanders fans, myself included, upset for all their for what they've been saying about Jaden and about a bunch of other stuff. And hey, guess what? The Commanders got the better of the Bears yesterday. They're 1-0. We'll see what continues to happen over the rest of the season. It's just one game. And shout out to my friend Aiden, who actually, he's a Bears fan, and he's actually a really, really cool guy, isn't a toxic guy. And I'm sure some of you guys who are watching are Bears fans. I know you guys are not all toxic, but there are a lot of you guys that Jaden Daniels is living rent-free in your guys' head. But yeah, it is what it is. I've been wanting to make an Adam Rank video for a while. It's been a few-year thing with the Commanders fan base. He's always had this kind of beef with them, and now I feel like that we, beat them and we're on the come up. It's a good time to make a video about it.